Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into this week's In the Spotlight video. We're going to be having a chat with Arne, the newly appointed country director for Belgium at EasyPark. Arne, thank you for joining me today. It's a pleasure to be speaking with you.
Thanks for having me. Great to be here.
So it's my understanding that you only recently started as the new country director for Belgium for EasyPark. How is the onboarding going?
Yeah, exciting times, exciting times. So, yeah, this is still my first month, so I'm still learning a lot, absorbing a lot. But this is a super exciting, super interesting market. The first few weeks have been quite intensive, with traveling, meeting new people, meeting new colleagues, and of course all the new information that we need to get along with. But I think it's a great time to come on board, and I'm looking forward to growing the country.
Now, before speaking specifically about the Belgian market, for the audience that might not know so much about EasyPark, could you give some perspective on the scale of your operations?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so EasyPark has been around for a while. Today they are one of the biggest mobile parking providers in the world. EasyPark was founded in 2001, and throughout the years we have grown immensely, of course. So today we are active in more than 20 countries. We work in more than 4,000 cities, and have a team of over 1,000 employees, colleagues.
So now you're on board to support the growth of the company in the Belgian market. Can you tell me a bit more on the mission for this region?
Yeah, sure. So the Belgian market is actually a very interesting market. So it has a huge potential when it comes to parking and mobile paid parking in particular. So this is really also the reason why I'm joining this team, is really to help grow our market share in this market, in the Belgian market. When we look at the numbers, of course, we have a lot of experience in other countries and more mature markets like the Nordics, where the company has started off in the beginning. So what the idea is that we really take the learnings that we have learned from the Nordic countries, the more mature market, and apply those learnings into the Belgian market. So for us, the main objective, of course, is to grow in terms of float, in terms of market share, and to introduce new and easier ways of paying for parking to the public.
From your experience so far, would you say that the challenges that you faced or the opportunities that the market provides are quite similar to the markets that EasyPark is already involved in?
Yeah, I think it does. Of course, there's always local challenges. There's always local differences. So in some markets, I think it's easier to propose mobile paid parking than, for example, in other countries. But in general, the main challenges remain the same. And what still for us to come in the Belgian market is a main challenge, is really digitizing parking. We still see there's a lot of PNDs, so parking and display units in the street, where people are paying manually, and this is of course something that we want to change. So we really want to introduce smart ways of paying for parking. We really want to make it as smooth and easy as possible for the end user to pay for parking, that they have to think of it as the least time as possible, basically.
What's the future looking like, both in the sense of the current trends in the market, but also what's upcoming for EasyPark?
So like I already said, for us, still a big focus and a big trend that we see is digitization. So we're really focusing on making parking more digital and more accessible to the end user. So this is going to be for us a primary focus. This is also really a global trend that we see everywhere, but especially in Belgium, where we're still like in its infancy, in the emerging markets. There we really want to focus on digitization. So our focus is on growth and really increasing our market share and making sure that more and more people will use digital ways of paying for parking. What else do we see is that there's, of course, there's a lot of data that we can share. There's a lot of data that we can capture, and there's a lot of data that we can share with our customer base, with cities, with municipalities. So basically what we want to do is really enrich their knowledge and share data with them, so they can make smarter decisions and become smarter cities at the end. Something else that we see more as a visionary point of view, and especially when we look at the more mature markets, is of course the electrification of everything. So EVs are on the rise, and this is also somewhere where we want to focus. So in the Nordics, we do have product services that are compatible with EV charging, and these are of course also things that we will look into the future for our younger and emerging markets to introduce.
You mentioned your growth ambitions for B2C and the goal of working with cities, but like in other regions, will you also be working with businesses?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like indeed, like I already said, the first focus in new markets or emerging markets is really about making sure that our solution is available in the different cities and the different municipalities. So this is an important focus for us. But then there's also other channels that we want to reach out to. So for example, we want to make sure that the user, the people on the streets who want to pay for parking, that they know that they also can pay with the EasyPark app. So this is also a focal point. But then other than this, there's also off-street or gated parking. So really working together with parking operators who are managing private parking or gated parkings. And as a last channel, let's say, or a vertical is also B2B. We also have B2B solutions where we can help businesses to make parking easy for their colleagues, for their users, so that they can pay basically with a business account with one invoice at the end of the month and hassle-free.
Well, Arne, I really appreciate you joining me today. It's been a pleasure hearing of your ambitions.
Thanks a lot.
And to the audience, hope you enjoyed the interview. Make sure to head on over to parking.net to read more about EasyPark and keep up to date on parking industry news. See you next time.